Rob Clegg, and my initial job with NHP was Programme Director. Over the years that changed, that role, and I became Company Secretary for North Halifax Partnership and stayed there until about 6 years ago when I retired. NHP was formed 25 years ago now. We were awarded a single regeneration budget grant, otherwise known as SRB, which was a government grant that was around in the 90s, and it was aimed at helping develop areas that had suffering from deprivation and had fallen behind. At the time I was working for West Central Halifax Partnership as a programme manager there, and then the council was awarded this SRB grant for North Halifax, so the council seconded me over here. So that's initially how it started, and my job was to help form the partnership and develop the services for the area with the funding from SRB. The theme of the SRB grant was routes to employment in North Halifax, so it was mainly around helping people get into employment because the unemployment rate was quite high at the time. So we had projects that were around improving educational opportunities for young people, and then we had a big project with Calderdale College which was called Bright Sparks, and that was about training for adults, mainly around IT skills, but also some around manual skills like bricklaying and stuff like that. And that was very popular and very successful, particularly the IT side of it, because at the time not that many people had got IT skills who were adults, as it were. So that was an important project. We also had a project called Job Match, which was then about getting people into jobs. So it was a bit like the employment service, and it liaised very much with the employment service to help people who were unemployed get employment. I think my biggest accomplishment at NHP was to get funding after SRB, particularly Sure Start Children's Centre funding, but also neighbourhood management funding and bits of money from Europe, because there were ways of keeping the partnership going after when the single regeneration budget ended. So that was quite an accomplishment, I think, over the years to keep getting funding, and that's demonstrated by being here for 25 years. I think one of my favourite memories at NHP was when we were bidding for Sure Start, because initially Sure Start in Calderdale was granted to the Elland area, and it was all a bit funny how they got the money, because West Central Halifax, now Park Ward, was the most deprived area, and had the right statistics in terms of young families. And North Halifax was the second priority, or should have been the second priority. So the money went to Elland in the first place, and then for the second round it went to West Central Halifax, which was right. And then what we found out through the back door was that Todmorden had been promised the third round of funding. So all this was being done behind closed doors. There was no open competition for it. So I took this up with the chief executive of the council and said, this is unfair. You know, North Halifax Partnership should have been the next area after West Central Halifax. So they agreed to have a bit of a competition there, and we ended up bidding against Todmorden to see who would get the next round of funding. One of my fondest memories of that was, as much as I'd like to think it was my eloquence and great delivery to the audience there to try and put the case for North Halifax, perhaps what swayed it was a young mother from the area who I took along just to say a few words, and she ended up speaking for about 5 minutes on why North Halifax should be a priority for Sure Start, and sure enough we won the funding and never looked back. I suppose it's been a changing picture, how it's evolved over the years. Obviously we started with single regeneration budget, then Sure Start, then neighbourhood management, and then there were one or two other grants and forms of income that came along the way. So it has been a question of keeping up with the times and moving with the times. And some of that has been very positive in terms of developing new services. Some of it has been defending what we had, particularly when the cuts in funding started coming in. It was keeping hold and trying to amend your budget accordingly. Finally, just to say well done to everybody involved with North Halifax Partnership. 25 years is a good achievement, particularly as a lot of these single regeneration programs, when the funding ran out after 5 or 6 years, they folded. So well done for all those people who've been involved over the 25 years, from the board to the staff and to the residents of the area who took part in the various projects and programs.